This week's Extra Life on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by EXA. EXA brings the latest technology to gamers, offering the most immersive products for the ultimate gaming experience. They've compiled the best elements of cutting-edge ENC tech, the latest in Bluetooth 5.0 and 7.1 surround, plus extra features into their headsets so everyone can enjoy a sensational gaming experience. And they've got headsets for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Plus, they won't break the bank. Learn more about the headsets that are available and any current promotions by going to f5live.tv/exa. So let's talk about what just happened. If you're watching on YouTube as a member, you just missed the ad that played. But for everybody else, let's talk about that little bumper that just played. We've been doing these bumpers for a decade and a half, possibly since the beginning, so potentially close to 17 years. We've done them pretty well unaltered in the last year or so, rather than my reading the same copy every week. We have gone to a pre-recorded bumper to make things easier on me, so I can increase the quality of some of the visuals and things like that. But even when it wasn't, it was me just reading the same copy every week, sometimes forgetting a line or a word or choking or whatever. So it's a better experience for our viewers. There's a logo, it comes up, it shows who our partner is, our affiliate is. This week, Twitch announced some changes to their branded content guidelines that would have made what you just watched on Twitch against the rules. And in our case, it would have been against the rules for two different reasons. The updated branded content guidelines said that no partner logo could be more than 3% of the screen real estate for an overlay, which works out to, I think, 56 by 31 pixels or something like that. It's a very small amount of screen, 58 by 32. Close enough. That's smaller than the F5 Live logo that's here in the corner, or in the center as a bug, just for filling some space, right? So 3% real estate, so certainly not the big logo that was sitting here during the promo. And you can't use any pre-recorded content that involves a partner. So that whole bump would have been shot. There's a lot more to it. No pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll content. No banners with partner content. All you could do is have a product, which we have had over the years, right? This microphone came from Skipper himself. I used to wear Monster headphones in the store, in the shot all the time. The lights on the walls are from Monster. That was okay, although we never really talk about, not an official relationship here. Or you could have some logoing in your real space behind you. So if you wanted to have to go back to Logitech from earlier, Logitech G, you could have some products from Logitech in the background, or the HoloLens theoretically here, right? You could have logos and stuff in the background, but you couldn't have any overlays more than 3% of the screen. You couldn't have any pre-recorded content. Now, the creator community went crazy for good reason. We're nobody when it comes to Twitch. And we know that. We do this show live because it's easier on us, and it's a bonus that people watch and listen and chat with us. But recording this thing live is easier for both of us, which is why we've done it this way for 17 years. With or without listeners or viewers, certainly in the early days. The grand scheme of things, we're not Ninja. Right?
Right.
We're far from it. Right. But people like Ninja people like avoiding the puddles and people like that have partners. They have sponsors. Some of them, like Ninja is a great example, have brand deals that involve pre, mid, and post roll video, putting logos in their starting soon video, which we don't have. We don't have any logos in our starting soon, but we could. But we couldn't under these new Twitch rules that came out, I believe, on Tuesday. And I mean, the community went nuts. Creators were tweeting at Twitch saying, y'all need to fix this or we're out. Because you know who doesn't have these rules? YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, Rumble. Nobody else has these rules about in-video streaming. So y'all need to fix this or we're out. Because we have contracts that last months, sometimes years, that say we have to run this. And if we can't on your platform, we've got to go somewhere else. Not to Mixer, since Microsoft got rid of that. This would have been the time for them to have it. But
Yeah.
so Twitch heard the community, very quickly went into panic mode, and erased that clause. All of the restrictions on when, where, and how were pulled from the branded content guidelines. In the end, the only new addition that was put in, that was retained, is about the brand partner tool, brand compliance tool, something like that. Basically, you just have to say that I have branded content in my video. Same that we do on YouTube. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long. You know, I have to check a box when we're publishing to YouTube, including for the live show. I have to check a box that says there's branded content in the thing, and then when you start the video, there's a little thing that comes up in the top right corner that says this video contains paid content or paid promotion or something like that. And the same thing's going to happen on our channels. The same thing's going to happen on our videos on Twitch, which is fine. I am fine with the idea of a written thing that says we have partners. But the idea that they were going to say no to internal content, ooh, that was going to be a problem for them.
So this is interesting, and it feels like it relates back to my segment earlier about which, because it relates to like how much power does a particular platform have,
Yeah.
where it can, how much can it afford to anger the people who are creating or contributing to it,
Yeah.
right? Now, because Mixer went out of business, I would kind of assume that Twitch probably does have a fair amount of leverage, could put this into place, and you know, it would really hurt those creators because it's not guaranteed that they're that I mean, if you're Ninja, yeah, but others, it's not guaranteed that your audience would follow you
True.
to another platform.
Actually, Ninja's a great example. They didn't. He went
Right.
from an average viewership of like, was it 350 before he left Twitch to like 45 on Mixer. His audience didn't follow him. He was probably the best known household name in game streaming, and his audience didn't follow him. The only streamer I can think of, and I apologize, Twitch, please don't take our channel down. The only streamer that I can think of who left Twitch and went to another platform and the audience followed and possibly grew on the other end was Dr. Disrespect. And that was because of the controversy that went around his leaving Twitch.
Right. So it's not, I mean, there's not a great, I mean, I guess YouTube would be sort of the, YouTube and Facebook would be where you would go if you want to leave Twitch. But,
YouTube is where Dr. D went.
right. But it's, you know, most people, like if you, you know, you'd be starting over to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you know, a lot, I think a lot of creators would have to think, if Twitch did not back down, I think a lot of creators would have to ask, like, okay, can I no longer do this through partner? You know, can I no longer do this partner stuff?
Yeah.
Therefore, I can't make money at this anymore. Therefore, I can't continue doing this, at least outside of it being a hobby.
Right.
So, I mean, I think, I mean, if you look at, I mean, it's kind of feels a little, you know, like how many publishers could say, I'm going, like Twitch needs creators,
Mm-hmm.
Google needs actually, you know, Google may not act like it, but it actually needs content. Like it
Yeah.
needs people to publish quality content on the internet. So in theory, a whole bunch of websites could say, like, especially major publishers could get together and say, we're going to block we're going to block Google, you
Yeah.
know. But if they did, so much of their traffic comes from Google that they would be hurting themselves so badly
Right.
that it would be really difficult
It would have
to.
to be it would have to be a massive scale boycott, right? It couldn't just be a couple of sites. It would have to be all of the big guys. And when I say big guys, I mean everybody from the Washington Post and New York Times down through us. Like
Right,
it would
right.
have to be a huge scale boycott for Google to feel any possible effect. But with Twitch,
Yeah,
Twitch makes all of their money basically on the top 100 streamers. It would only require a portion of them to walk away, and Twitch would get kicked in the stomach hard and quick.
so I guess that is where, you know, having um they, at least they were responsive, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it didn't have to come to that,
Right.
right? Like
But it
I,
looked like it was heading that direction because some of those top 100 were saying, I think this is the big one, boys. I think this is the one where we have to walk away.
right.
And
And
this has been a week of gaming boycotts and boycott threats because Activision's under it right now too. And like we've seen I know it's a weird seemingly off topic thing, but we have seen boycotts accomplish some stuff one way or another over the last couple of months, right? We've seen real world physical product companies respond to boycotts and boycott threats. I think Twitch felt that the world has proven that they can get together and make a voice heard, and they didn't want to be on the receiving end of that. This time it wasn't a political thing, it was a YMYL kind of a
right.
threat. But you know, I think they didn't want to be on the other end of that, especially when some of their top creators were the ones going, I think this is the big one.
Well, they have really had no, the creators really had no choice, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you have no choice, and that's, you know, that was kind of my point about Google search as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if companies that rely on it to survive, you know, for their business are now going to get, you know, 70 to 90% less traffic
Yeah.
because their links are not easily visible anymore. That's an existential threat. And so these folks on Twitch, they were an existential threat,
Right.
right? And thankfully, it didn't come it didn't come to that.
Yeah. The irony being that the better option in this case would have been Google.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no question. You know, I mean, video is an area. You know, we don't need to get into AI, caught up in AI stuff again, but video is an area where you can see that AI is, you know, not going to do a lot to displace. I don't know, just like if you're a streamer, if you're a quote unquote, a streamer. I hate the word term content creator because
I know.
I hate that term. But anyway, if you're a streamer, whatever, like there's AI can't really replace you, right? Like
and it doesn't matter.
It can't.
It doesn't matter if we're talking about Ninja or talking about us. We do an opinion show here, right?
It's right. But you can't like that's not something that like an AI can really replace.
Right.
I mean,
today
can try, but I mean, I guess the question is, do people watch Ninja because they want to see someone playing a game? In which case, I guess you could have an AI go play through a game too. But like, or do they watch it because they want to see Ninja play games? So
they want to see Ninja play. And so one of the things we do streaming coaching over at Strike, and one of the things that we tell people is that you don't have to be a great player. Ninja happens to be a great player. But you don't have to be a great player to be a great streamer. Because if you've got a personality, you can make it work. You can do really well playing okay or poorly. And have a personality, create a character. Dr. D is another great example, right? He's not the world's best player, but he's hilarious. And so people watch because of this weird character that he created. So you're not going to create that character with AI to play the game and be able to interact with chat and make fun of the audience like some streamers do, or what? Yeah, AI is not going to be doing that.
Right.
That's a very specific and weird skill set.
Right. So for those sort of weird, so if everybody in the future, what did Andy Warhol say? Everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. Well, everyone will need to be an influencer. Those will be the jobs. Those will be the jobs that are left.
Yeah.
Influencer and streamer.
And prompt writer.
And prompt writer. So yeah, I mean, it's good that Twitch was responsive. I hope that that's why I think there's power in people making their voices heard. Yeah. That's why in my segment I was kind of elsewhere I've been ringing the alarm about Google's SGE, because I hope that enough folks kind of make their displeasure about what Google is proposing known, and maybe put some pressure on Google not to do this, just like people put pressure on Twitch not to do this thing. I mean, it's
streamers and viewers alike.
Yes,
all put pressure on Twitch on this one, which was important. And so on the Google topic, I think it's important to do the same thing. It's got to be both the writers, the publishers, and the readers that need to say no. Right, exactly. I mean, I think that's really key, is that folks make their voice heard. Agreed. Hopefully we won't see anything else like this pop up on Twitch, and I don't think we will, because I definitely think they learned their lesson, and hard. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell, because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to PLUGHITZLive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.